welcome to Recipes Galore. Today we are making apple crescent treats. I had someone request last night, they had gone apple picking and they requested what's a recipe that I can do with the kids that we went apple picking and I don't know what else to do with these apples. So I sent her this particular recipe last night that I'm going to share with you. And what you're gonna need, of course, is apples. And I have my apples cooking right now because I need to get soft. And we're gonna add our ingredients soon after I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar in the raw. Can you see that? We're gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar in the raw to the apples. And that's gonna bring out the juice in the apples. And because it's fall, y'all, we're gonna add some pumpkin pie spice. Now, if you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can add ginger, cinnamon, and if you have some allspice, you can add that. If you have some nutmeg, you can add that. You can add all three because this pumpkin spice has ground cinnamon, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground allspice, and ground cloves. Now, if you use cloves, I would only use like one because cloves are very, very strong. And little kids may not take too well to just the cloves in there. So add some cinnamon, add some whatever spices you have that's gonna liven up your apples, or none at all if you don't want spice in there. Sprinkle some of this. We're gonna get 1 teaspoon and we're gonna sprinkle it into our apples. Give it some fall flavor. And while that's cooking, let me stir it up. I'll show you what's in my pot before I stir. See, I put the apples and I got the sugar in there and I got the pumpkin spice and it's cooking all down. I don't know if you can see the juice that's coming from the apples. I am using crescent rolls, the Hawaiian sweet crescent rolls. Now, I'm going to roll this out. Uh-oh, I think I lost one. No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to roll this out onto here. And I'm going to do 2 at a time. But what I'm going to do is kind of stretch this a little bit. The crescent roll, take them apart because you're going to put one on top of the other. It's going to be like a little long triangle. So I kind of take it and I stretch it just a little bit so I have room for my apples to go in there. And make sure you have a fork on hand so that you can close the sides. So I'm going to stretch this and put it over here on my pan. And then I'm going to stretch this one because I need it to go on top of this. And I'm going to stretch it a little bit so it can go over the apples again. And I'm going to lay it out on my pan. I'm going to stir these one more time. I think we're all done. Yeah, all the moisture has pretty much cooked out of them, so we're going to put them, we're ready to prepare. Now, let me make sure I turn this around so you can see. So I'm going to start with a little bit right here, and this is hot, so make sure with your kids, you can cook this ahead of time. Have them help you cook it ahead of time, and then let it cool. And after it cools, they'll be able to handle it with their fingers better. just put some in a bowl for them and give them their own little saucer and let them create their own little apple treat. And that way, everybody has their own tools to work with. There's hopefully no arguing along the way, and you don't need a whole lot in your apples because you don't want it to be packed. So give your kids just a little bit, or else they will try to pack the whole thing into one crescent roll. Because you want it to be able to close. Now, on this side, let me show you what I have before I get started. This is what I'm working with. You see how I have just a little bit of apples on here? I'm gonna take my top roll and I'm gonna put it on top, stretch it out so that I can close it up with my little fork. Now, let me grab a fork and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I just go around the edges and just kind of press it with my fork so I know it's together. I'll show you what I'm doing when I get done. I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm just pressing it with my fork to make sure it's sealed together so it won't ooze out of the crescent roll. Can you all see that? My little fork marks in there. I'll do the other one so that you can see it. Again, I'm going to stretch my crescent roll out so that it will fit over the top of the other one. Just like that. And now I'm just going to go around it with my fork. And there's our crescent roll. So we're gonna take the other two and we're gonna do those. I'm just gonna pull it apart here. And we're gonna take these other two and we're gonna do these and we're gonna put them in the oven. It depends on how many apples you make as to how many crescent rolls you need. And I'll do this last one. And like I said, we'll be ready for the oven. Get in there. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing great, Missy. Thanks for joining me. Now, we're gonna put these in the oven. Because my oven cooks fast, I'm going to put these on 350 degrees for about 15 minutes, and then I'll go and check them. But I'll set the timer at 12. I like to set my timer a couple of minutes ahead, less than what the time is, just in case, because my oven cooks fast, so I have to keep an eye on it, and I'll get busy cleaning up and doing something else, and then I'm like, my food is burning. So I set the timer so a little bit ahead of time so I can go and check it, and then I reset the timer if I need more time. So just a little tip for the kitchen. Now, as I said, we're gonna go put these in the oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. But again, quick, simple, easy, something your kids can do. But when we take these out of the oven, we're gonna drizzle some of this. I'll put it on my hand. That's salted caramel. It's very salty. And that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. You can find this recipe and other delicious recipes on my channel, youtube.com/AskTheNanny. Now, if you decide to make this, please post it on social media and tag me. I want to see what you made. I want to see your variations. That's it for this recipe, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time on Recipes Galore.